Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our video we're going to be doing on Bitcoin here. I want to take a look at a few different scenarios, maybe make some minor adjustments to what I currently have for our account now that uh, we've seen some history being printed on the charts. And of course, before I get started, the disclaimers. This isn't financial advice, and you're responsible for your own trades and doing your own research here. So let's take a look again. In case you're a new viewer here, let's take a look at our channel. Right, so we've been taking a look at this channel for almost the entire correction from 13,800. We've got some good touches up here on the top and also down here on the bottom. We had some overthrows and we had some underthrows here. But nonetheless, we've stayed pretty well contained inside of this channel, and the median has proven to be a pretty good cluster throughout this correction here. So now, where we currently are, we're inside of, what appears to be a bit of a pennant, but let's just take a look and see, what this looks like. So again, if you're on the Discord, we talked a little bit about when we were down here. I said, yeah, we're probably going to spike up to about the 7,300 area. We didn't quite get there. We got to about 72, 70 or so. Let's see here. Let's just get this 72, 66, 50 or so, and we came down. But before we came down here, we had a massive spike up to about 74. Let's see, 74.45. And my target for the downside was right down here at at about 7,000. We didn't quite get there. We got so far as to about 7,050, and we haven't attempted to breach 7,000 with significant force ever since then. So I'm going to clean up some things here, and I want to take a look at some important patterns that are here on the chart. All right, so first off, we were disregarding this spike down because we didn't really have any evidence that that this was a valid pivot. I do happen to actually be changing my bias on this since we're starting to see a little bit of a bottom forming down here. And let's just take a look. And I actually haven't done this before, so I'm seeing this for the first time with you guys. Seeing if this makes sense down here. And let's go ahead and put this right at that pivot down there. Okay. So we've got that piece, and let's go ahead and move this guy over here, because I really think that we're going to have a decent amount of confluence with this. And let's move this guy down here and make just one small minor adjustment there. And I'm going to actually disregard some of these larger wicks that have overextended. So of course we've got this yellow trend line, and let me just see if I can change the color of this triangle. I'm going to change the transparency of this so that we can still kind of see it, but I want to pay attention also to this trend line here as well. So this trend line has been, of course, support down here, this support down here, and then it was technically support over here. We had a nice support here, and then we had a resistance flip, which also happened to be, the 21 exponential or pretty close to it, and I'm looking at an hourly time frame. So on the hourly, let's scroll back here and just take a look. On the hourly, the 21 exponential was a front run of resistance. It was resistance, 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 and that also was pretty significant resistance because we did attempt to push through, but it did close, or I guess the open was right here at the 21 exponential, and then we had that move down to 7,050. But now we have overtaken the 21 exponential, which we haven't done in a long time. We haven't actively traded above the 21 exponential. And I say actively because sure, we closed above the 21 exponential here, but we immediately closed below it on the next candle. And we haven't done that yet. So I would say right now, opening up some low leverage long positions is probably going to work out. It is risky, but what I can say here is we have, with a decent amount of success, we have overtaken a support level. which was resistance for a while down here, and that's right at the what 7,065 or so level. We'll call it 7,050 for good measure. So I say as long as we stay above 7,050, or sorry, 7,150, then I do think that there is potential for us to move a little bit higher here. Next area of interest is going to be right around here. So this is going to fall in line. Again, we're looking at about the 72, 75 level, which is going to be right around where that 100 exponential is on the hourly. So a move up there would be quite nice. Now I do think that we're probably going to get some bounces here, and I'm sure if I move to a higher time frame, like a 3-hour time frame, likely some other things are going to fall in line with this as well. The 21 exponential sitting right here in the middle of that, which is probably going to be the median once we do get up there. The Stokes on the 3-hour, you know, they are cautiously optimistic. We did have a little bit of a fake out here where we crossed down, but we have crossed back up on the 3-hour. You know, if we take a look at some of our other time frames that we have on that, you know, we have the hourly, which is just starting to peep back up as well. And let's put some of our other time frames on there. Let's get the 2-hour, the 3-hour, the 4-hour, the 6-hour, and the 12-hour, just to see where everything is currently at. Right now, everything is below 50. We do have the 6-hour, which is all the way down here. It's currently below 25, which that's a good sign. We've got the 3-hour that's starting to come up, the 1-hour that's moving up, and we have the 2-hour that's sitting, of course, right between the 1 and the 3. And also we have the 4-hour, which has also crossed up. The 6-hour has not yet, so it is possible that this hourly, maybe the 2-hour, is going to come back down just a little bit, but nonetheless, I do expect these to start to move to the upside. The only one that's concerning me right now is the 12-hour. The 12-hour was moving down significantly. It did move up, and let's just see the timing of all of this. So this is where the 12-hour was down. It started to move up when we were trading up in this area, which was above the 200 simple moving average on the hourly time frame. Once we broke down below that, the 12-hour started to move down, and I would say that it is very likely we come back up to the 200 simple moving average, which again is going to be this next level of support and resistance that I am interested in, and that's going to be right here. And it just so happens to be at 7,400. So we've been talking also about 7,400 for a long time. But, you know, just to keep things short and sweet, wanted to keep this video 10 minutes or less here. I do expect that we are going to be holding support at about 7,150. If we don't hold support at 7,150, we start closing hourly, especially a 3-hour below 7,150. I would say that more downside is likely in the short term, but my bias right now is short-term bullish based on what I'm seeing here. So now let's talk about an alternate scenario here. An alternate scenario based on our first wave. So let's say this is the A, and then we're basically just putting in the B down here. And now we're going in for a C. I still think that 8,400 is quite possible. I think 8,400 is quite possible for an alternate scenario. And the reason why I say that, and let's actually just remove this triangle completely, okay, let's take a look at this from a channel. So again, we're going to start down here at the bottom. We're going to come over here to this bottom, and let's go ahead and make sure we tick that off properly, and let's go all the way up here to this. Okay, so now obviously our first level of interest is going to be right here. And let me move out to a 3-hour time frame and just kind of show you what this is going to look like. And I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to remove some of this. I'm going to remove this trend line, and I do want to focus on some significant hot zones. Our first hot zone is going to be right here at 77.50. So we've got a hot zone here at 77.50 where I would be interested in taking profit, and that happens to fall close in line with this the 618. And so this 618 is measuring the length of the 1 projected from the bottom of the 2, and I'm saying the 1 and the 2. I'm talking the first wave, the second wave, the A wave, the B wave, whatever you want to call it here. We had one move up, and then we've made one move down, and I think you can put a pretty good count in this as well. And actually, it makes significant sense here too, because what we have, and I'm going to go ahead and outline this, we have a very clear diagonal. So we have got a 1, a 2, I'll change the degree on this. We've got a 3, we've got a 4, and then we've got a 5 to get into that A. Okay, so let me just clean this up just a little bit here and show you what I'm seeing here. So we're going to change this degree to a minuscule, and then this ABC is going to be on a higher degree. So let's move this up just a little bit. And then we're going to give this a different color because this is going to be more of our primary count on this. We're working to put in the A, B, and the C to finish our 4. Okay, so we have a 5 wave up, but then also what we have a nice A, B, C to come down to that B wave, or the second wave. So let's go ahead and move this back down to minuscule. We'll give this the white count. We'll give this the white color here. And let me move this guy down out of the way. All right, so that's measuring the length of the 1 down to the length of the 2. Now what I fully expect to happen here, let me just go ahead and zoom in on this channel. I expect from this bottom for us to be putting in 5. So what's going to happen from down here, we're going to get a 1, we're going to get a 2, we're going to get a 3, which is going to be that rejection, we're going to get a 4 down here, and then we're going to get that move, again, I'm talking potentially up to 8,400, but really this can stop dead in its tracks right here at 7,900. It's very possible that it can. But I actually tend to believe that we're going to come up to 8,400, and I don't know if it's going to happen quickly. I don't know if it's going to take a long time for this to resolve. Likely it will. If we're taking a look at the length of time it took for the first wave to complete, let's just take a look at our time. So we're going to get our trend-based fib time. Again, we're going to measure the length of this first wave, and we are going to project it from this bottom of this C wave. So if it's going to take exactly the same amount of time it took for this first wave to be put in, then we're looking for this to be completed sometime around December 16th. Which December 16th, and even if we go just to the 618, which makes a little more sense, December 14th, that coincides with when Poloniex is going to be liquidating its assets into, I believe it's USDC. So somewhere in this range makes sense for there to be, a massive dump to the downside. So potentially this one wave isn't going to be very high. Maybe it stops here, and then we get our second wave down here. Now our third wave, it may as well be able to just stop right here. We put in the 4, and then our 5 just stops dead in its tracks at the median, and then we only get a double top right about here. This is also a scenario which I will be interested in because if Poloniex is going to be liquidating all of their assets, I would say that there will be a pullback on Bitcoin more than likely, because if you're selling assets into USDC, there's only a couple things that can happen there. And very, very likely there can be a significant pullback from here, which could get us down to our 5,800 target. Again, we're still looking at Christmas for there to be a push down. But our scenario right now, we want to hold 7,150. We want to push up to 7,700, and I would say a break in either direction is going to change my bias, especially if we cross 8,400. 8,400 is going to be nice because it's the top of this channel, and it would be really great if we hit the top of this channel. Maybe we only get to the median to show weakness in the market, and we go down to 5,800. Still looking at 5,800. I go back to the 12-hour time frame, and I've been talking about this for a long time. But I do think that there is potential for us to make another move to the upside to finish this 4. We can't penetrate this bottom down here, which is at 8,950, but 8,400 would be okay. That would be a nice area for a rejection, and then for a fall down to 5,800. Wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're having a good day, a good night, a good evening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, enable alerts to get real-time updates when I do post these videos, which I do always in real time, live stream, and nothing is fabricated beforehand. A lot of what you see, I do on the fly. So again, wherever you are in the world, have a good day.